So this is our concern, that our restaurants post-COVID are not making the numbers. We're not coming back like the rest of the city. Our underserved community restaurants are empty. We have no resources. And restaurants like this should be packed, and they're not. But we can't lose hope. And that's why we're doing this. He was here. I have a video of him sweeping. He's the first one here because we don't have staff.
How you doing?
This is Carl. He's the owner of Pate Spectacular space. We're here with Carl Cutting from Pate Palo on Dykeman Street. Carl?
Morning, Arelia. Sure, I'll be able to fill you in on so much that has happened to us during this pandemic. But first, I'll have to thank you for all the association has done on a daily basis of motivating us, because we have to overcome so many things. The pressure of keeping our restaurant business alive, because we weren't getting the funds that were needed to run a business, especially while we still had to pay Con Ed, our rent, our vendors. It was just a continuous struggle, but it taught us owners to be ready for anything. One of the things that I do is I do pray, and I do all the little things that I need to do, and it's very important to take care of your business. Do all the little things. It's a mental struggle sometimes, because on a daily basis you feel that you're not going to make it, but you have to every day get up and say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and you have to stay like that.
We're here with Sandra Jaquez, the owner of Satacos and El Sol on Dykeman Street. We're here with Jeffrey Garcia, owner of Wahiza Pizza and Mon Amour Coffee. And we're here with Yahaira Gonzalez from Pop and Pour on Dykeman Street. Welcome, everyone. During the pandemic, this was very difficult for you. You not only had the economic losses and the physical losses, but there was an emotional loss and an emotional episode and series of events that really moved me, and I think that everyone should understand that you're not the only one who had this feeling.
It was very tough for me, emotionally, more than anything. You know, just one thing after the other, losing employees, and it took a toll where I said I need help. And I'm actually still in therapy, but everything is much better now. We're slowly getting back to some kind of normalcy, and so am I. But yeah, it was pretty tough for me.
How are you getting over it now? Just therapy?
I'm just taking it day by day. I mean, there's not much we can do right now, you know, and switching things up, getting creative.
What do you need from people now? What do you need from government? What do you need?
I mean, we still need funds. We still need funds. Like in my case, I was only helped with the PPP. So that was only for a certain period of time, and after that, it's pretty much just been me.
So Jeffrey, you know, it was me and you, a team, helping people get through COVID. And it's very emotional when I say it to you, because somebody reminded me that it was virtually trying to help an entire industry, and we didn't know what was happening. How did you get through it? How did you motivate yourself, because you had to motivate others? How did you do it?
Well, you know, it was a very difficult thing, because not only did you have to deal with an association and its members, as a business owner, I had to deal with my own issues on a daily basis, and so that was difficult, and I had to sometimes put that aside to my detriment to be able to help others. But I think the major difficulty was in dealing with the misinformation of elected officials. You know, it was very hard for a lot of our members to deal with this situation, because here in New York, and specifically New York City, there was a different set of rules for the rest of the state and our neighboring states like New Jersey, Connecticut, etc. We would go to restaurants in these areas, or even Long Island, and see them packed. In our neighborhoods and in our city, restaurants were empty. So we didn't really understand that big disconnect there.
The unfairness.
Where our governor at the time, Governor Cuomo, was treating us very differently. And while we still understood there was a pandemic, we didn't understand how everything was so different in Long Island than it was on Dykeman Street. And it was very unfair. It was very difficult for us to assimilate that as business owners, and even comprehend from a political perspective what was going on to us. So it was very, very difficult to really tell people, no, listen, it's different here, and they're trying to understand why.
The takeaway from this in the beginning was this is a wake-up call for Latinos. Pay your employees on the books, file your taxes on time, because you had to file all the taxes and show proof of your earnings and income when you wanted a loan and you couldn't get it. Be prepared for the next big thing, because it might not be a pandemic. Now we're heading into inflationary periods. So we need to be prepared as a group. Sandra, like the scrambling for PPP, we had to scramble with our local banks. Our local banks, Ponce and Carver, saved minority communities in the area. And there's still hundreds of restaurants that didn't get PPP. It's craziness. Sandra, how did you get your PPP?
Well, like I said, there were certain particulars that you needed to qualify, like particularly this restaurant I opened in 2019, so I wasn't able to get any loans, any PPP, any grants, nothing. It didn't qualify. For Next Door El Soleil, which I've had for 18 years, it was a different story. I did get the 2 rounds of PPP, but like you said, at the beginning, the first round, it was just barely made anything significantly, It didn't do much because, again, I didn't have my books in order. I didn't have everyone on the payroll. So all these requirements that you needed to get these loans were, for us as minorities, were really difficult and hard because we don't work as a corporate America. But it was a wake-up call, and also to be more innovative. It showed us how to be more innovative, how to create, how to not give up, how to now do delivery platforms, which we weren't really involved in. So now we have all the delivery platforms out there. Now I have all the latest social media. So it did help me to elevate in that sense. But again, it's been extremely hard, and it's still going to take a long time for us to ever recover. That's if we even get to recover to pre-pandemic days.
So you've seen the factors that are starting to boil or bubble over in our COVID brew. If we don't add another recipe ingredient to this pot to stop the simmering, to stop the boiling over, we're going to lose our restaurant owners. We're going to lose our restaurants. And more importantly, we're going to lose our communities, because the restaurant industry is the backbone of every business economy in the world. And in New York City, it is essential to travel and tourism. So I hope you see that we're trying to find viable solutions for restaurant owners with the Latino Restaurant Associations. As an organization, we're trying to help them individually, but we can't help them without your help. Please learn, understand, and please come out to restaurants. We're safe, and we're here to help and serve you.